Stockholm is called the Silicon Valley of Europe. That was Bill Gates, I think, who said that, because of the Swedish economy, of course, because we depend on our telecommunication systems, and the company Ericsson, it's very big, and also there is a great deal of innovation. You know, there are many small companies who are creating these wireless systems, all types of things. You know, there's so much technological development there, and so it's very exciting, all these new things, and very good money, but some people get sick. One of the most well-known cases, Mr. Per Segerbäck, he's been electrosensitive, I think, since the beginning of the 90s, and he's an engineer at Ericsson.
The reason I'm wearing this is it protects me against microwave radiation. It contains about 25% stainless steel. The reason I'm wearing it right now is because you're making a film and interviewing me. I can't stand the radiation from the camera. Otherwise, the main purpose of the suit is to enable me to get to work, because the microwave radiation here in Sweden, especially in the Stockholm area, is just too high. I can't stand it. It will turn me unconscious in 10 minutes or so.
He's one of the most brilliant people I've ever met, you know, and he has helped me, for instance, a lot in finding scientific publications, references, abstracts and so on. And he's very, very clever, and therefore it's very, very sad at the same time to see him having these terrible problems, you know. The
main symptoms are from the nervous system. What happens to me personally is I just drop down on the ground, and I can't move, I can't talk, I don't see anything, I don't hear. I'm turned off. It started with working in front of my computer, but I was also actually working only about 30 or 40 yards away from a mobile base station. Where I sat, I looked out the window, I saw these antennas. I was the manager of a group of designers, but they came from all over the world. Smokers, non-smokers, vegetarians, meat eaters, you name it. And around 80 to 90% of my personnel developed hypersensitivity to electricity within 1 year. And we have nothing in common, we were not related in any way. To me that says that, well, if the conditions are bad enough, you're all going to get problems. If you go back some years in the Swedish debate, it was very popular to claim that these persons only imagine this, or they have some psychological disease or whatever, but that has never been found.
The Swedish government has accepted electrosensitivities as a disability.
It doesn't really matter whether you feel anything or not. It has been shown by all the Johansson at the Karolinska Institute here in Sweden that actually anyone who sits in front of a computer gets sudden changes in the skin.
There are sometimes even heavy alterations, including changes in different immune competence cells such as Langerhans cells, and in the mast cells, which is the key cells for things like allergies, oversensitivities, asthma, that kind of thing. Pointing to that they react as they would react to any kind of irradiation such as X-rays or radioactivity. They also seem to react to something coming from the computer screen. But then we have also focused attention on the mobile telephones, and we're actually the first group in the world to show that persons claiming such a sensitivity could mimic that in a double-blind experiment. And they could show this sensitivity and that it was real actually. Is it really good then to whole body irradiate 24 hours a day? Of course not. And also then a recommendation would be that please, if not stop, at least diminish the use as much as possible until we can say that everything is safe. And today we just cannot say that. On the contrary, There are so much knowledge nowadays, and they're all pointing like a forest in the wind in the same direction towards that there are biological effects, there are risk effects, and some of the effects are even scary.
According to official statistics, it's around the 2% of the Swedish population that are hypersensitive. That translates to about 180,000 people.
I think a prudence avoidance principle is probably not enough. Maybe you would have to live with the thought that either you have to stop this kind of usage, or at least start inventing what I usually call human-friendly technology.
It should be possible to find frequencies, modulation techniques, etc., that do not affect people as much as the current systems. You can actually have an area that are free from base stations and where the levels are fairly low. Turn off a number of the base stations and turn the antennas the other way, and have an area where you have only outdoor coverage. Even out here where the levels are around 1,000 times lower than in Stockholm, your mobile is going to work just fine.